Here's my question. And I've asked this question many times last year. Why is this man still in office? Why hasn't he put on precautionary suspension? The Madlanga Commission has the power to recommend suspensions, and I'm not sure if they have used that power or why they are failing to use that power. I mean, kudos to Ekurhuleni for taking the decision to suspend Julius Mkhwanazi and even their head of legal, Advocate Kemi Bahari. But that was the city of Ekurhuleni deciding to act on those suspensions, unless the commission recommended that secretly and we don't know. But the commission must be transparent about that. So if the city acted on their recommendation, that the commission would have probably said so. So why is the commission not recommending suspensions for some of these embarrassing cops? I mean, the weighted evidence against Senona is so powerful. He has clearly conducted himself improperly. His conduct has been questionable and could even border on criminality. And we must be comfortable with him staying in office? I think it's unwise for the SAPS to keep people like this man in his position, given that the public see them as posing a serious threat, not only to the credibility of the institutions they work for, but you could argue to public safety too. When the president established this commission, he said, the commission will make findings on criminal prosecutions or institutional reforms, and where appropriate, they must make recommendations on the employment status of such officials, whether they should be suspended pending the outcome of investigation. Is the Madlanga Commission then waiting to make those recommendations at the end? And how much damage would have been done by then? What do you think? What do you think should be the approach of the SAPS or the Commission to these chaps, whom we can see clearly their improper behavior? Willie, you calling from Pretoria. Good morning.
Morning, Clement.
Hey, sir.
You know what? All those people who were opposing this idea of having this commission, Cyril was going to fire the minister. Oh, and then all these things that have been revealed now, we are not going to know about them. So it was good this commission was instituted. So I think we still have more to hear from other dodgy characters. But now it is time for Cyril to take the lead correctly. Fire all these rogue units. Thanks, Willie Pretoria.
Thank you, Willie. Rakwena, you're in Pretoria North. Hi.
Hi, Clement, how are you?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, this problem is just the tip of the iceberg. If I can tell you now, the problem started when the SAPS changed the ranking system there, starting to call themselves generals and whatever they call them. And in a very short space of time, the unit is sitting with a lot of generals who are literally, most of them unqualified because of the recruitment system that they use there. And the very same thing escalates into the SANDF, where the army's numbers are around 80,000 and you have over 400 generals there as well. Now, if you could go through all these people, because it's a connection of corruption and political connections, you are going to find that they are not really capable, most of them. It's just like Mkhwanazi, the Julius Mkhwanazi, who didn't even know what SWAT stands for. So we have got a problem here. I think what needs to happen is to have a complete overhaul of the South African police service and the army, and change these titles that we have in the police force. You can't be having generals in the army and in the police as well. And lastly, that I want to raise is this issue of the Iranian, Navy exercise. I mean, Ramaphosa is supposed to be the commander-in-chief. In many countries, if something like that happens, the minister is fired immediately, and all those who fall under the minister seniors are fired. But here we are now, establishing now a board that's going to investigate that, with a lot of retired judges there and other staff members there, running into millions. Obviously, it will go into millions. Now, you see, the whole thing is a problem, just like even our cabinet here, which is the third biggest in the world, and even bigger than what the USA has. So we have got serious problems here. These piecemeal solutions where you want to focus on one small thing, it doesn't really make a difference, because almost the whole system is rotten. So I really don't know. I'm confused. But this Senona, he's got to either resign by himself, and Kunu, they both must resign by themselves, because they are finished. There's nothing left there. You know, if they were really honest to themselves and trying to save the nation problems, they don't deserve to be in the. I mean, where did you find a police senior head who doesn't read newspapers? Who will tell you that no, I could not afford to pay for News 24, when we know very well that government departments through GCIS and so on, they've got media monitoring.
But just the other day, he was saying that Yanali Cat Matlala, their relationship is they send each other news articles.
Yeah, you understand, and that shouldn't happen, because GCIS job is to collate all the information that is of interest to government departments and send it out every morning and so on.
Yeah, but I mean, if he says that, yeah, we just used to send each other articles and stuff. Okay, what about the sensitive information that you guys have been sending each other? He's just trying to come up with all sorts of justifications that don't make sense. Sesh, who's this? Poke on the WhatsApp line says, Clement Senona on Twitter says, Clement Senona complained that they intimidated him by sending him a note that he must say why he can't be transferred. He said, why did they send him that note just before he appeared before the commission? So they are taking action. So also, transferring someone is not action. And unfortunately, that's why our public system has aspects of it that are so rotten. Because there are certain people that no action has not been taken against them. They've just been transferred to other departments. That happens a lot. Someone does something wrong, let's just move them somewhere else. Why is that action? Why are we okay with that action? And then you, as a taxpayer, you are busy paying 41% of your salary to this government so that they can go pay the salary of that person who probably does nothing. Nothing. Remember, even with General Mkhonazi, it happened when there was a point when he did nothing for about a year. Because that's how government thinks. Some sections of government think, that's a way we're going to frustrate people. It's ridiculous. And we seem to be okay with it. It happens. The social development minister, remember last year we spoke about that 22-year-old lady who was her chief of staff, who doesn't even qualify, doesn't have the right qualifications, doesn't even have the right experience. She was suspended for about 6 months with full pay. And then she resigns later on. Who takes accountability for that? We just move on. You and I as taxpayers have just spent 1.4 million rand annually paying this woman who doesn't have the right qualifications, who doesn't have the experience. And then you suspend her and pay her while she's suspended, and then she resigns and all of us have to move on. That's what irritates me. You know, every time I look at the tax I pay, I get irritated because I don't think that our monies are being used properly by this government. And if they were using their own monies, I'm sure they would be thinking differently about the decisions they make. It's crazy. Now they want to transfer Senona from KZN to where? And then they're going to pay him until what? He retires? In our taxpayers' money?